The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the Dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
You're listening to Saucepans and Sidesteps.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Saucepans and Sidesteps podcast. Joining me, Big M, as always, the one and only Mr. HG Rugby, Huw Griffin. Good evening, my friend. How are we?
Good evening, Mart. I'm tired after a long weekend away in North Wales in what we now call, and Nick Williams was trying to tell me how to pronounce it, Withva?
Withva.
Yes.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful going to Withva. Nothing quite like Snowdonia and the surrounding areas, if that's easier for you and your English tongue to get
Well, I
around.
just know you got to be careful with these things, mate. So I do want to give it the correct name. And yeah, one of the most beautiful places I've been. One of them, full stop. The valleys, the hills, the rivers, crystal clear waters, beautiful people, beautiful towns, beautiful things to drink, most importantly. Yeah. So I had a wonderful weekend away and came back today. It's a little bit tired. We record these later in the evenings, as people may know. And we've got something inspiring to speak about, haven't we?
Is it inspiring? Let's let the people decide. So did anything special or anything of note happen over the last few days?
Since you've asked me, I've got to tell the people, haven't I? Yes, I got engaged yesterday while we were up. A very tall hill / small mountain. I got down on one knee, popped the question, and fortunately she said yes. Don't know what I'd have done if she just said no. Hell of a long way walk down. Might have taken the short way down, to be honest. But no, fortunately she said yes. And so that's very exciting. So that's the next big thing to happen in my life. It is sorted. But shall I tell you the story? It's the first time I'm telling the story. Shall I tell you the story of the day? Because it was not without its incident.
Oh, wow. He wants to tell a story. Well, we do like to keep these things under an hour. So
well, let's be honest, mate. Nobody's keen to speak about their rugby this week, are they? So I'll tell you. So it was at this National Trust place, and it was the walk, and they had all these walks on site, and it's got different routes. See, it's got a red route and a green route, and it says. Anyway, and it's got different moderations for the type of route and things. So we starts off on the red route, and we're going down, and it's lovely, and it's pretty easy going. And we get to this bit, we go down a slight hill, and there's this slate bridge, and that goes across a river, crystal clear river, and there's a waterfall coming down. And I haven't popped the question at this point, and I'm thinking, this is the perfect spot. This is ideal. Waterfall, crystal clear rivers. Slate Bridge, absolutely. This is it. All systems go here. Slight problem. Herd of cows right there. And when I'm saying a herd of cows, I mean mummy cows, baby cows, daddy cow, and they ain't having us. They're not interested in us being there. They're not interested in allowing the walk to continue. And the missus, as I can now officially call her, isn't happy about the situation either. She's like, no, bulls and calves, golden rule, you're supposed to bugger off if you see this kind of situation. I'm like, yeah, but can we just hang about for 5 minutes? She's like, no, we got to leave. We got to leave right now. I'm like, okay, right. Okay. We're on the back foot here. So we go back up. We go back the ways we came on the red route. And she goes, right, we can't do the red route because there's cows in the way. So we'll have to go on the green route. And I said, okay, what's the green route like? She said, the book describes it as moderate. So I'm like, okay, this shouldn't be too bad. Moderate my arse, Mark. It's the steepest hill I've ever climbed in my life. Literally, there was bits on it you had to use your hands to pull yourself up and stuff. I couldn't believe it, and I am seriously considering writing a complaint to the National Trust about the mis-selling of the difficulty of this walk. So we get up this hill. I'm trying to be romantic. Stops halfway up. I'm blowing out my arse. I'm absolutely knackered. But we managed to keep going up. And every time you think, we must be at the top now. Oh, no. Keeps going up. But eventually we get to the top. Beautiful view of this valley. Great spot. The sun comes out. I think, all right, okay. So this is a sign. So proposed there. Yeah, everything great. So now we got to come down. Now we got to come down the hill. So we start going down, and we're still on the green route, and we're following all the arrows for the green route. We meet a couple coming the other way. And they says, don't go down there. They said, it's all muddy. It's up to your knees in mud. You'll struggle. They said, we've done this walk plenty of times. Go the other way. Go this way. Go round there by there. Down this way. Follow that route. You'll get down, no bother. We go, okay. Should not have listened to them. Should have gone down the green route. So we keep walking forever. And like, you wouldn't think it like this time of year in Snowdonia. The sun's absolutely blazing. Run out of water. We're starting to think, this downhill bit doesn't feel very downhill. Are we going to be stuck up here forever? So we finally started going down again, and we're coming down the hill. We get to a certain point. What do we find? Herd of cows again, blocking the route again. They've moved up. They're now on this route, and it's the same cows, same bull, same calves. They're not happy. They start mooing at us. Like, oh, jeez, what are we going to do? We say, we're not going back up the hill. So we find a gate, right? And this is probably confessing to trespassing, but we're in now. So we hop over the gate, and we're walking along this wall with the cows on the other side, and we're trying to go around the cows. Unfortunately, the wall on top of it's got barbed wire. So we can't just hop back over. So eventually we find a point where there is a bit that you can climb up, but there's still barbed wire. So eventually I'm like, okay, I'll do this first. So, and the missus is stressing out because she thinks we're going to get arrested for trespassing. So we go up, climb up the fence, climb over the wall, clamber over the barbed wire, and I jump down. It's about 4.5, 5 foot drop off this wall. So it's okay. So I jump down, bit of a thud, but I'm okay. And I'm like, okay, you've passed me this. She passes me the bags and stuff. And I'm like, come on down. And she gets on top of the wall and completely freaks out. She's like, I cannot jump off this wall. This is not safe. This barbed wire, I'm going to catch. I'm going to break my ankle. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. So she's having a bit of a panic. Meanwhile, there's people walking past us thinking, what the hell are these two doing? So eventually I managed to coax it down. I had to give her a bit of a hug, reassure her it was all fine. And then carried on down and get to the point where I originally wanted to propose by the waterfall with the slate, and it's completely silent. Could have waited till then. But there you go. And that's the end of the story.
And we didn't actually get the actual proposal where she had hair sticking out, barbed wire tangled around her arm. She was sweating, panting. Oh, she really must have appreciated waiting for the moment. Wow. But I gotta be honest with you, it's you're just not used to the sort of, inclines that we have. If you're not climbing up, basically a vertical drop just to get to your house, you don't live in a valley. Congratulations. I'm pretty sure everyone is feeling very overjoyed for Mr. and Mrs. HG. and we'll soon start hearing the noises of little griffins running around in the coming years. I have no doubt. But until then, there was a little bit of rugby this past
Was there?
weekend.
Was there though?
Yeah, there was. There was. Yeah, there was. It was a Friday night where 6,114 people crammed into the park. The opposition turned up. The officials turned up. I don't think anybody actually called the Scarlets to let them know. I mean,
yeah, maybe that was the problem.
I'm not sure. Like, don't get me wrong. We can all I watched back the first half, and
You watched it back. Oh my god.
the first half, and it was more the ref that got to me than anything. Like, he was obviously absolutely crap on it, and we lost the game. We were thoroughly outplayed. There was no amount of correct officiating that was going to change that into a win. I'm going to make that clear from the outset. But oh my god, I mean, you could see it right from the off. A clear knock on the tackle. He needs a bloody TMO to bloody call it in for him.
It
What,
was
30 seconds,
look,
minutes later?
I'm just gonna be honest, because they were gonna have with the chances are we're gonna get this ref over and over and over again. I'm just gonna be honest, that it is probably my least favorite ref in the league. I'll never forget a couple of seasons ago against Munster, he pinged Sam Lousy for being offside at a ruck that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Sam Lousy went and picked up a loose ball that no one was holding on to on the ground, and he awarded a penalty to Munster for it. And look, as you said, Mark, it didn't change the result. Because the thing was, because we were all obviously in the group chat going, this ref, man, for God's sake. And then he awarded us a penalty and we kicked it down and we got into Stormers 22. And you're thinking, finally, bit of possession, bit of territory. And they threw in the line out, buggered it up, and they kicked way down and we're back in our own half again. So you think, yeah, we were all so bad. And this is kind of it, Matt, do you remember last season when we were decent? But do you remember the season before that when we weren't decent? This was like that one. And again, I'm here asking the question, what do we do in the days between games of rugby? Because it doesn't look like practice playing rugby. So, and this is the thing now, boys, is we've seen you be decent. 2 competitive games ago, we were rattling Leinster in Dublin in what turned out to be their toughest playoff on the way to lifting the URC title. And now we're getting nilled at home. Now, I've previously said that a nilling at home should be an automatic refund to everybody who turned up. Like, not scoring a try at home is bad enough. To be nilled at home is completely unacceptable. And what is it? There's no explanation. Like, yeah, and you can talk about the coaches and things, and the coaches, of course, have come in for stick after this. It's not just purely because of the coaches that we got nilled at home. Like, there are things that I've seen these players do previously that they didn't do in this match.
Yeah, I mean, there is a caveat or two in there, but nowhere near significant enough to allow for this sort of performance. Yes, we've got a massive injury crisis at lock. We know we had Tristan Davis and Steve Cummins, who honestly have only known each other for about 2 minutes, and then Tristan is off.
Steve Cummins, who I thought was finished. I thought he came on and made a positive. Probably one of 2 positives in the whole game was that Steve Cummins came on in the second half and did improve things.
Yeah, it's like he rolled back a years. To be fair, he was the player he was last time he was with us. It was like he'd never gone anywhere. He was a positive in his own terms. But we had opportunities. We played.
We actually finished with more possession.
Yeah, that kind of got me, to be honest. But obviously, you don't need possession to win. Like, you don't need to win the possession. Fucking I swore already. The possession count.
Or territory is possession.
Yeah, but even then, we get plenty full of lineouts in and around their 22, close to the line in their half. We had enough territory to, make some things happen.
Does only Sam Costello know the set plays? Because why was there no set plays? Even with the scrum and the line out not functioning, why was that? I thought Dwayne Peel teams are supposed to be all about the set plays. Why were there no set plays?
Yeah, I think there was one where we gave it to Tommy Rodge off the back of a line out, but nothing happened. And you could see that, and don't get me wrong, it is very, very clear that Joe Hawkins has had minimal time in the saddle as a 10. It is so clear to see he did some really good things. I think his kicking is pretty good. Fair play to him. His kicking was awesome.
Passing is good as well. I think I was impressed with his flat passes. I think he looks a more natural 10 than Ewan Lloyd, in my opinion.
Possibly is definitely up there. But, you've got the Stormers who are constantly in our face. I mean, you've got options to do as a 10, and obviously when you get to that stage, you know what to do. One of the easiest things you can do as a 10 is when they blitz in that fight is play to the line. Stop that blitz, only give them that meter or two to move and have them jutter. And that just he played sort of he just played normal. He didn't play deep. He didn't play flat. He was just there in his sort of, I'm guessing where he just stands when he trains with it. He doesn't move around or do anything with it, which was, a bit disappointing. I would have thought if Sam, obviously he had the knock and everything, so it's probably better not to have started him, although you are questioning that after seeing the game. But you'd imagine
he was captain as well towards the end when Johnny went off and he came on. He took over being captain.
Yeah, but you could see Sammy would have been he would have played that flat. He would have run a lot, and you could see how.
I think Sam's lost a couple of kgs, and I think he's looking to bring back his running game that he kind of lost for a couple of seasons. I don't know whether Gatland's told him to beef up and he lost a bit of footwork. I don't know. I'm guessing, but he seems to have slimmed down a little bit again now.
I can get on board with that. I can agree with that. It was just disappointing all around, and I'll be honest, the scrum, which everyone is looking at and going bad, weren't that bad. It was just if you slow it down and you watch it, you can see the Stormers, especially in the first half, every single time they've got an early shove on before that ball comes in. So we're already on the back foot, and then they just walk us through because they've got our front row all crumped up and crippled into a position where they can't exactly push, or they can't even get any sort of, stability, and we're automatically gone. And you can just see it looking over, the amount of times I rewatch it, go, the ref is standing right there. You can literally see it. You engage, and they're moving a good half a foot forward into us before that ball is going in, and then it's just a case of walking us back. You can see every single person in that Stormer scrums knows exactly what they're going to do because their feet are all going right from the off. It's a hard one to take. It really is known how good we were last year. But for me, we got nothing out of these games last season. And it just is, we got nothing out of this year. You can lose 7, 8 games and be in that top 8. Obviously, I'd like for us to be better, but I don't see this as season defining right now. Hearing rumors that Kemsley, McLeod, and Lousy are not going to be traveling to South Africa. I hope that's not true. But if that is the case, we got those 3 plus Eddie and Elias to come back after this November break, and then added with this new signing that we will come on to. I'd expect the next block and further on to be much more improved.
I just hate the sitting around waiting for the first win of the season, just waiting for it to happen.
I mean, my Scarlet brain is we're winning first game of the season, but reality-wise, I was thinking Connacht was probably our best opportunity in these opening 3 games. But we will come on to what's to come, and hopefully we'll have some more positives to talk.
But yeah, the big talking point from this game obviously is the second rows, isn't it? Though, to lose both. Obviously, we had Lousy and Ball out. Lousy picked up an injury in the warm up for game one. Ball's picked up a head knock in training. Now, head knock, that's I've been champion of the injuries aren't luck thing, but picking up a head knock in training, that is unlucky.
That's ridiculous, especially when we're only supposed to have 15, 20 minutes of contact training a week, isn't it? That's ridiculous.
And then, obviously, it looks like Max Douglas picked up a rib injury during the game. And Tristan, hang on a minute. There's this meme online of a woman holding up a sign and it says, "He's not hot, he's just tall." And I think I want to amend that to say he's not a lock, he's just tall. And Tristan Davis is that. And I think we saw that yesterday or on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If it was a case of maybe as a replacement or in an emergency like we saw with Tane, it's absolutely fine. But yeah, to be playing an hour in at second row is not for Tristan. Like I know we spoke after the Munster game, and I'm not 100% sold on Tristan yet. For what little time he was on the pitch, he made a good few carries. I can't say that, but I'm still in that category. I haven't seen enough of him to definitively say whether or not he's a good sign-in.
Like I said, with Steve Cummings came on, an experienced lock. Like I said, fair play to him. I thought he was past it, and he's come on and he's made a difference. And in the first kind of 15 minutes of the second half, we did fix a few things, and we started to, to solve a few problem solve a bit on the pitch, but it doesn't matter because it didn't turn it into points. The Scarlets just seem to need to play incredibly well to even score a try. Like, when was the last time we scored an easy try? Did it happen at all last season?
Page, probably the easiest try. The one a few seconds after the restart.
Yeah,
that's probably the easiest try we scored. I don't know. Would the Leinster with Blair and Ellis running in tandem would that be classified as an easy try? I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So
we have no middle ground. We have no 70-80% game. It's either 90% plus or we're literally looking at failing and capitulating on ourselves.
Yeah, and obviously the squad management is the thing, and we'll get onto the signing now, I guess, because I haven't looked at the stats of this game. I've got no clips or anything. There's no point. Got nilled at home. Miserable.
Well, he's not here till November anyway, so maybe we can do something first when we preview the Glasgow game.
Yeah, we'll talk about it because it's obviously news. But just before we come on to that, is the squad management again comes into question because you're looking at the second rows that we've got on the pitch, especially to end the game. And I appreciate we've had injuries, but you're looking at the pack all over, and then you're thinking, well, at least we've got 3 current international inside centres. At least we've got back 3 players today. At least we've got more fullbacks than you can shake a stick at. Meanwhile, we've got 1 specialist fly half and 4 specialist locks. And guess what? 3 of them are injured.
Yeah. I mean, our backs, we sign a decent 10, not to be first choice, just that squad 10, the one that capable man that is there for, I don't know, 5 to 10, maybe sub appearances over a year, maybe the odd start. I think our backline can't be faulted, and it is stronger than quite a lot, especially when hitting on form. And we go into a back 3, and our depth is ridiculous. It really is. I'm surprised we're able to sign and keep hold of some of the players that we've currently got, even though they're still academy age.
Yep.
But you're looking, if you ever talk about the Scarlet, and it's not during the Dwayne Peel era, It's not during the last 10 years. It has been for all time, barring brief periods. Scarlets don't have a front five. It's always been the same. Like I said, we've had brief periods where that wasn't the case, but for majority of time, we don't have a front five. So I don't understand why we're not bolstering, we're not putting the correct resources then. And it seems everything goes towards getting loose forwards and a back line that will make us look fancy, and we'll put on the most champagne rugby tries the world has ever seen. We don't get me wrong, we can make some brilliant signings in that front five, but we need those squad players, those guys, those gnarlers, are more than just one to a squad. We need a few.
And we always just seem to have boys coming back from injury. Like, if you look at it on paper, you got Hepburn and Matthias, two test loose heads. You got Marnus and Elias, both test level hookers, and you've got Henry Thomas and Harry O'Connor, both recent international Welsh tight heads. But Harry's just coming back from missing a season with his Achilles. Elias is injured. Matthias is injured. And then it's suddenly looking around going, oh, right. I'm starting to look at, and Archer Holtz, I thought, came off the bench and made an impact. And I'm starting to wonder, is Henry Thomas not fit?
That is a question to be had. I want a quick look at something just so I don't say something incorrect, which I tend to. Let's be honest, I do like to say dodgy things every now and then. But yeah, he did. Henry Thomas didn't play a single warm-up game, even though there weren't that many to be had. Another question for a repeated conversation. So, yeah, a lot of the boys don't seem match fit, and some of them don't seem fit at all, which is a shame, because this is the whole point of coaches is to get your squad ready for the season, and even without taking a drubbing at home, it's still a point when we're not match fit. I don't think anyone can put their hand up and say they are 100% properly match fit. Quite a few that are almost there, but 100% match fit, ready to go, play at your absolute best. No one's at that level.
At least Blair's got a new haircut.
At least Blair's got a new haircut. Let's say a new hairstyle. I don't think it's a haircut, because you could see he was growing it for a while for a purpose. And now we see what the purpose is. He should just bicker and go bald. What is wrong with the boy? Jesus. I've seen so many funny hairstyles, but never have I seen a blonde white boy with dreads. Especially one that's 5'8".
It's not your best look, Blair. We love you. You're very important to us.
Like, if he was 6'4" and like 120 kilos, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not saying nothing to him. But he's a small man. Why are you doing that? It goes back to the early days of this pod with Lee G whinging about Steph Evans' hair all the time.
Yeah, mullet and a rat tail. That'll still take some beating to have a mullet and a rat tail at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And also be a 5'8" white boy.
Oh, wow. Absolutely well. Okay, what is next on the agenda? Is it that new wonderful signing we've apparently made?
Yeah, Fletcher
Anderson.
What's his name?
Yeah, Fletcher Anderson. Crusader Fletchers. Yeah, not bad. But
so it's a bit of deja vu here. So he's a number 8. He's a reasonably big lump, we're led to believe. He's had a good season playing for Tasman in the NPC. He has debuted for the Crusaders in Super Rugby. He was named Tasman. No, he picked up a few awards. He was Tasman Player of the Year. He was Tasman Defender of the Year. And he was also Tasman Man of the Year, which is a separate award. Now, I don't know what that is, but it does say... they do talk about him making a positive impact on and off the field. So I'm taking that to mean that he's maybe a leader, a big personality, not maybe head of the entertainment committee. That's perhaps not what we need right now. Can he play second row? That's my main question. But yeah. Well, firstly, welcome, Fletcher. We're the ones that are going to be talking about you every week. So tune in. As far as we can tell, there has been nothing said about him being Welsh qualified. So he seems that he is an out and out Kiwi. So he can, if he plays for Wales, it will be 5 years from now. Unless they haven't told us, but normally they tell us straight away. The fact that he hasn't played that many games for Crusaders doesn't worry me that much, because we've obviously had Blair came from that neck of the woods, having not played for the Crusaders, and was capped by Wales within 6 weeks of getting here, wherever it was. Tane Plumtree played for Wales before he played for us, and came from playing for Auckland in the NPC. He played like 3 games for the Blues or whatever it was. So I think, that there's no Kiwis going to be listening to this, is there? The talent ID in New Zealand is obviously a bit off at the moment. I think it's fair to say. They seem to be going size over everything, which is probably why Blair missed out. So I'm not worried the fact that he's not like a top line Super Rugby player. I do find it weird that we continuously shop in Super Rugby. There seems to be whole markets of rugby that we don't shop in. Like Super Rugby Americas at the moment is all the rage. You can get an Argentinian whatever you want for like a packet of crisps. They're not expensive. Or curry cup or whatever one it is. We have had a couple from the curry cup, to be fair, but we can continuously seems to be plunging the NPC market. Do we have is there an agent down there who we're in with? I don't know, but yeah. So he sounds like a good player. He seems like he was Tasman's best player last season. If he's a good ball carrier, he's very welcome. Are we going to see him and Tane in the same team?
Yeah. I mean, from what we gather from his appearances for Tasman is that he plays across the whole back row. I mean, he's 6'2", so no, he's not going to be playing lock anytime soon, but you never know with us. I mean, you normally go for a slightly bigger 6 than you do 8, so is it a case of we see Tane move back to 6 and this guy at 8? I mean, let's be honest, you can play either or. We've had in the past where they got 6 on the back, but they packed on a 8 on the scrum, and vice versa. It probably really doesn't matter all that much. It's just having, 2 people to the right standards in there. What concerns me is the fact of, and I know there's a money element to this, but we allowed Fafita to go only to sign another NWQ back row. And this is nothing against Fletcher. I hope he's amazing. I hope he loves his time here. Please do not get a home in Cardiff. Come down west. Live in Llanelli. Pembrey is absolutely stunning. You love it on here. And when the weather's hot, you train on the beach. It's only a small walk home. That's probably a good bit of advertising but there for them. But is this really, like, before the season started, you could say, okay, maybe our depth at back row isn't what it could be because of the loss of Carwyn and Via last season, who are both looking like really bad decisions, given how Carwyn has, powered Pow to the top of the top 14, and, Via being Via. But we've had clear signs that we want Ocean Williams to be integrated into the first team, even though this is only his first senior year of men's rugby, which, if he's good enough, he's old enough. Age is just a number in terms of sport and that aspect. I mean, we've got Jared Taylor as well, who, again, he's a bench squad player. Yeah, I can see it. But a starter, it's a hard one. Like I said repeatedly, last season, I thought the only reason I thought Carwyn should have been starting over Jared, and I think him being NWQ was probably a factor in our decision making. So, and I agree with you. We need to be looking elsewhere in the market. I mean, Pro D2 has got loads of huge locks. Even the third tier of French rugby for some gems. For that's where the top 14 send a lot of their academy boys and the youngsters into these two divisions they play in. And if it's a case of we can pick one up who's a proper lock, a proper enforcer, that'd be amazing. But right now, and we don't know when this deal was done, so that does have to be said. It doesn't seem like it's the right fit for our squad. It doesn't meet our immediate needs. But regardless of that, it's another player added to us.
The elephant in the room, obviously, is with the big question mark that's hanging over all of the regions at the moment, thanks to the WRU, makes it impossible to properly squad manage. So there's that. Also true is that when we do make signings in some areas and not in others, the question of prioritization has to be raised. Like, did we really need another winger? Or, we love all of our players and we want them all to stay and we want them all to have incredible careers. Could there have been a decision to say to one of our many, many very talented back three players, listen, mate, we're really sorry. We don't see you getting tons of game time ahead of the boys that we've got by you. And we've got academy boys like, wing is probably easier to step up earlier. So we've got academy boys who we think could probably do a job in the URC if push comes to shove. So I'm really sorry. We're going to have to prioritize a different area over you. Because that's the question. Obviously there's considerable constraints on all of the regions, but when we do make signings in some areas and not others, then the question that naturally gets raised is prioritization.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair to say that probably outside of the back three, and I'd say just outside of the back three, because if you go down far enough, I don't think we have great depth really anyway. Yes, we've got 3 international centres, but then we've got just Max Page in behind. Obviously, when we go down behind now, we're into people who've never made a competitive appearance. 10, we know the issues. We've got 3. We've got 3 scrum halves.
Yeah, happy with scrum. I'm okay with the centre situation because on 12 you've got Johnny, Joe, and Eddie. Joe also played 13 for Exeter, although I don't know what that really means. I think Eddie could play 13 in an emergency. Obviously, Max Page has played 13, and we know Johnny has played 13. That's behind Joe Roberts. Obviously, the 10 situation we haven't been happy with for a long time. Scrum half situation I am happy with. Back row. The thing about back row is we just feel like we feel like half the team when we haven't got Josh McLeod.
Yeah, that is fair. Like we've said many times last season and the season before, when he was out, there was just nothing to us. He comes back, him and Sammy, combine as a two, and we just seem to absolutely elevate our game to as high as possible. And no one seems to be replicating that. And we need a few more leaders, a few more people that have that impact on the squad overall.
In terms of talent, I'm okay with the back row. I'm okay with it.
The quantity of talent as well. We've got loads.
You should always have. This is the thing with back rowers. People will say, "Oh, Wales, you produce loads of back rowers." Every team's got 3 back rowers in the starting team and 1 on the bench, so you got 16 of a match day in Wales alone. So you'd like to think that 4 or 5 of them would be decent,
Yeah. So was it McLeod, Davis, Plumtree, Taylor, Tristan Davis, Ben Williams, Ocean Williams? Then we've got Tian Sparrow, Dom Kossuth. This new signing,
Douglas can play 6.
This new signing, Fletcher Anderson. I'm just looking at boys. Like, also, we did have Keanu Evans, but he's obviously transitioning to hooker, which will be intriguing to see how that goes. So, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. We've got 10 back rowers, and 3 of them are academy. So, say we got 7 senior back rowers, and one of those academy boys is pushing hard for the season. So, numbers wise, that's brilliant. That's about right. I'd say about 7, 8 back rows is what you really need. So that's bang on, but everywhere else it's lacking. I mean, I know we did different competition, but Crusaders named 6 locks in the Super Rugby squad. We've got 7, including all of our academy. It's, and obviously we got a much longer season to deal with.
And you got to look at who the locks are. Like Sam Lousy, great, love him, fantastic, borderline club legend at this point. Jake Ball, also a club legend, but has been playing division or not playing Division 2 rugby in Japan for 2 years. Then you've got who else is it? Max Douglas is coming back from a long injury. You've got, who am I forgetting by you? We've got 4. Who's the other one?
Jack Price.
Jack Price, who is apparently long-term unavailable.
Yeah, no one knows what's wrong with them, unfortunately.
So, QED, do I say no more? And like I said, the front row on paper is decent. There's just the injury situation has completely pulled the rug from under us.
Yeah, I mean, you like, even if you step into the academy over there's big hopes for Will Evans. He played 3-4 games for Drovers, and he's been injured ever since from the beginning of last season. That doesn't bode well. There's not one injury; it's multiple injuries, and then behind that, Dylan Alford is probably the next one there. He's come down from RGC. Look, he's in our academy, but he was playing up north last season.
We let 2 second rows go over the summer.
Yeah,
we let Morgan Jones and Nate Scragg go. Like Morgan Jones was playing URC rugby to okay to a passable level season before last. He was doing a job.
Yeah, he was, and it looked as though he was going to step up and carry on. I've not got a clue. I think he came to us through the Exiles program, so I would imagine he's probably gone back to wherever he was prior to joining us.
It's a head scratcher, Matt. Now, obviously, we don't know what goes on. Maybe there's something personal. Like the whole Teddy Leatherbarrow thing, where we let him go and people lost their heads, and it turned out he made a life choice that meant that he was gone. Okay, fine. We don't know. But what I'm saying is, our second row situation got. I'm repeating myself, Matt. I'm not. This isn't new news. Over the summer, went from good, strong, exactly where we want it to be, pretty much, to going into the season even before the injuries happened. We're worried about this, and those worries have been realised.
Yeah, it's so hard, and obviously,
and if it's just a case of we couldn't recruit anybody because of the WRU reforms, just tell us that.
Yeah, I mean, all these injuries have come, thick and fast. Like Jack Price was named in our last preseason game against the Dragons. Obviously, Sam Lousy pulled out prior to the Munster game. Ball then doing training. Max and then Tristan are both in this game. We're hoping that both are okay. But, until we get an official line, we're just left to speculate, which isn't great. It tends to be that if it's a short-term injuries, we don't get any notification. It's just a case of we wait for the match day squad, and then they're just in that little bubble at the bottom, unavailable. So we're in that thing. We know, well, we're left to speculate, which is frustrating for everyone involved. I mean, yes, I know they have to wait until the whatever hospital they're using is fully staffed or whatever to properly get the right people to look at it, to give them a proper diagnosis, recovery time, blah 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 blah. But just give us something. You'll know within like 12 hours he's got this injury. We're having it assessed. At least then we know in our minds, okay, we're looking at least a couple of weeks or whatever it may be. That bit of communication could be improved, and it could be improved across the board with almost every rugby team, I think.
Yeah. Oh, look, if before this is even released, if we all log on tomorrow morning and see the Scarlets have signed a second row to cover for the situation, then I'll be delighted. So, but it's the fact that we could see it coming that's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to have something in there, some form of insurance or whatever that covers something, in terms of money to open up money to allow us to sign, these short-term replacements. It's just we seem to be hitting these sort of situations fairly regularly. We had a wonderful, wonderful season with injury last year, but we weren't immune to issues even then. But yeah, it's hard. It is what it is, and we will move on, and hopefully we'll progress at some point once this stupid consultation is over and we're confirmed to be one of the remaining 3 or 4 teams, whatever they decide. We can say, okay, we've got a bit of money now. We can actually get some investors in or allow House of Luxury to, do their thing and progress with us and move on from there. But yeah, anything else to add?
Just sorry, Fletcher, if you tuned in, they're expecting us to hype you up. If you are amazing, no one will sing your praises higher than this podcast.
We're genuinely excited to see you come here and play. It is going to be awesome again to watch you wear Scarlet be on the park for us.
Yeah,
but we're just in a time where we were so worried about locks.
During the game, I had loads of South African mates who've never watched the Scarlets before messaging me saying, "You should sign some bigger ball carriers." Like,
oh shit!
There's an idea. So if you turn out to be that person, fantastic.
It's not all about a size either. That sounded really weird in my head. I'll have to listen back to see what that sounded like. It's not all about size. We've got the physical size to match up with other teams. It's just the fact that we don't use it. Instead of speed times strength or whatever you want, acceleration. We don't run hard enough enough for the time. Or at least it doesn't appear that way.
Didn't we bring in Bradley Davis as an extra specialist coach for this over the summer?
Contact area, which quite frankly has been not great.
Yeah.
Even though it's only been 2 games, so yeah, we have to reserve judgment. But yeah, there we go. I'll leave it. Okay. There is something else on the agenda. I don't really want to mention it, to be honest, but kind of have to, do we?
It's what everybody's talking about.
Are they? I mean, it's what everyone over the bridge is talking about, not us.
Yeah. So, over the weekend, there was an official statement made by the Ospreys regarding the Scarlets, and there was a tweet by the Ospreys CEO which appeared to be aimed at the Scarlets. All I shall say is this, because I've got no interest in getting into a big spat. And we've got no leg to stand on because we just lost 34-0 at home. So this week is not the week to start the fight from our side. All I shall say is this. People who live in glass houses want to be careful throwing stones.
Yeah. So I made a slight reference to it earlier. We had a crowd of 6,114. Mr. Bradley put up a post of the crowd at the Brody Field, Bridgend, the CF postcode area, saying this feels like a crowd of 6,115. And then the other one was late on a Saturday night. Pretty poor PR timing for that. Nice one, but they put in an apology to House of Luxury because back during one of their meetings, they had an open forum. I'm not even sure what it was. I'm not even sure when it was, to be honest. I think someone said about this stadium, but someone put up a question, House of Luxury con men? And apparently it popped up on the screen briefly, and then when they posted their social media post, you could see it in the background. I mean, one, you don't do nothing without looking through it all. I mean, no one's gonna. You're gonna be checking to make sure there's. If you're doing that sort of thing, where people from the crowd are messaging in questions, you're gonna be looking at that question to make sure there's no profanity or nothing in it. So don't give me that bullshit. You didn't know what was written on it. So that's a load of crap. But it just goes to show the point. It doesn't matter whether it's during one of the games, when it's during one of the meetings. The only thing certain people think about is the Scarlets. And it's not Scarlets fans, which is quite bewildering. But there we go. That's the end of that from me. I think that's the end of that from you. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so that brings us to the community game. And we've had a request, some thinking to include the women's game in this community chat. So I've added in for this week. If you think it's something we should keep on doing, comment, give us a like, subscribe, just show us that, this is, something we should be doing. And I'm saying all this because I'm trying to delay to get my actual right screen up, which, as you know me, I'm never bloody again everything straight first time. Okay, nice and quick this week. So no games in Super Rugby Cymru this week because the under-20s had a training camp on the Saturday. Yeah, that's all I can say for that. I don't understand why there were no fixture scheduled. Is what it is. Really big week this week. We've got a Thursday night fixture. We've got Llandovery travelling to Ebbw Vale. Ebbw currently the SRC Challenger Shield holders. Is the same thing as the Ranfurly Shield down in New Zealand. You defended at home every league game. Ebbw Vale won it off Llandovery last season, and now it's time to go get it back. Really, really is. On to Saturday, and Carmarthen Quins are at home to Newport. Newport, who are 0-4. If Newport lose this game, it'll be first time they've lost 5 league games, the opening 5 league games in a row for 50-something years. I think Rob was telling me on the SRC podcast. So that's going to be a really intriguing one because Quins have looked good despite letting certain teams in at the death. But there we go. Into the Premiership, a bit of a local derby, and at Straddy Park, the home team lost 34-0. Llangennec won 34-0.
Are you telling me that 2 home teams lost 34-0 in Llanelli on the same? It was on the same day.
Weekend, yeah. But yeah, it was quite funny to me when I saw it come in. But it's not. The irony was
at least the other team that got the away victory had a double L at the start of their name.
Exactly. So into fixtures this week, we got Wanderers travelling to Bather and Narberth at home to Cardiff Met. Champ West, Ammanford lost 30-22 away to Bonamine. Crymych came close to that victory, 40-48 loss at home to Tondy. Aberystwyth, same again, 27-26 away to Kenvigill. This Kenvigill puts in 50-60 points on Crymych. So, that's a good result. They're one of the teams up there. Newcastle Emlyn beat Glenheath 37-33 at home.
It's good to see the Emlyn pick up a few results.
Come on. 2 in a row against Glenheath. 2 in a row. Aberystwyth at home to Bonamine this week. Ammanford travel to Glenheath. Emlyn at home to Trebanos. And Crymych travel to Tata Steel. 1 West. Buryport 37-36 winners at home against Vellinvall. Lamberton lost 22-27 at home to Wanalaith. Larne 47-30 winners at home against Kidwelly. Hendy losing 29-17 away to St. Clair's. And Tenby winning 36-27 at home to Swansea Upland. Fixtures this week, we've got Vellinvall at home to Lampeter, Hendy at home to Buryport, Tenby travelling to Kidwelly, St. Clair's going to Swansea Uplands, and Larne travelling to Wanalaith. Then we got 2 West. Carmarthen Athletic 46-13 winners at home to Croyce. Fishguard losing 17-5 away to Lacha. Aberaeron 43-14 winners in Nant Garedig. Whitland losing 20-12 away to Pencloud. And Betos losing 39-0 away to Pontedilice. Obviously, Pringle will be happy with that. Where is Pringle? When is he returning?
We will find you, Pringle. Apparently, he was sighted in Brazil over the weekend, I'm told.
In Brazil. That makes sense. He does speak Portuguese. Okay. Fixtures in 2 West this week. We got Abereyron at home to Pencloud, Betis at home to Carmarthen Athletic, Fishguard at home to Ponta Delice, Nangaredig travelling to Croix, and Whitland hosting Lucker. To West Central, a one and only team, Brenanam, losing 6-18 at home to Neath Athletic. Come on, boys. Come on, the Greens. They travel to Aberafon Quins this weekend. 3 West, Milford Haven 40, Arm United 31. Lots of points going around. Trimsaran win 34-31 away to Narberth Athletic. Who's New Dock Stars 31-18 winners at home to Harvard West. Ha ha ha. You've got the one and only Jordan Williams for you. What do you expect, man?
Was he playing 10 this week again?
I can't confirm, but I believe so. So
I saw an interview with Gavin Ensign where he said they were asking what's it like to play at community level, and he's like, the thing is, you think it's pressure at test level taking the kicks. At that level, if you're like a test level player and you're lining up, you better kick it over because they're going to let you know about it if you don't.
Yeah. I think I saw that interview. It's pretty cool. I think it's Penn Cody's playing for, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. There we go. Neyland 45-22 winners at home to Cardigan, and Llandalo winning 24-18 away to Tumble. Fixtures for this week, we've got Armagh United at home to Narberth Athletic. How's New York Stars travel to Cardigan? Oh, that would have been a nice time to travel to Wales to propose in Cardigan. That'd have been nice. You missed an opportunity, but they bet. Halford West at home to Milford Haven. Neyland travel to Llandilo, and Trimsaran at home to Tumble. That is tasty. That is tasty. Division 4 West A, we got Emlyn Dreiger 24 all against St David's at home.
It's 25 all there.
25. Did I say 24?
Yes.
I'm not with it. I'm really not with it, boys. Help me. Smack. Pembroke Langham postponed. Pembroke Harlequins 46-24 winners at home to Tidal Cymru. Pontevedra running away with the league as it stands. 62-12 winners at home to Tenby Athletic. Fixtures for this week. Llanybudder travel to Llangam. St David at home to Pontevedra. Cymru Tidal at home to Pembroke, and Pembroke Harlequins travelling to Tenby Athletic. 4 West B, Fall Bay 22-18 away to Kev Nathan. Llangarog 42-17 winners at home to Binya. Pontevedra and Furness postponed. Llandibby 16-14 winners away to Pont Yates. And Pennebank 35-22 winners away to Tregaron. Fixtures for Saturday, we got Binya at home to Pantavannan, Tregaron travelling to Fall Bay, Furness at home to Kev Nathan, Llandibby at home to Llangarog, and Pont Yates travelling to Pennebank. And the aforementioned women's game, it's not too many. So women's premiership, we got Buryport 36-28 loss away to Seven Sisters. Their next game's not till the 2nd of November at home to Llandaff North. In the championship, Lampeter winning 39-28 at home to Anisabol. Whitland going down 54-7 away to St. Geneth. Haverfordwest just narrowly losing out 19-15 away to West Swansea Hawks. Next set of fixtures, 26th of October. Haverfordwest against Gwynedd. Lampeter travel to Llantwit Vardra, and Whitland at home to Old Penarthians. The West Wales League, just the one game. Tumble 52 to Croix, 19 into Croix. Big win there. Fixtures for them, 2nd November. Again, Emlyn against Morriston. I'm sure there's a different name for the Emlyn ladies.
Write in and tell us.
It's probably Menywod. It's probably Welsh. And then Pembroke.
There's a Welsh international came through Emlyn. Can't remember who it was now. Because I think they've got a picture on the wall.
Yeah. I can see, yeah. I can't think of the name.
It wasn't Shonda Harris, was it?
Yeah. Yes.
Was it?
I'm saying yes because I believe it is. We will double check that.
We will check that
immediately. I'll actually message one of theirs now. The other fixture is Pembroke at home to Croix. What I can tell you, if I can find it, it won't let me. Okay, bugger it. I'll have to stop sharing and we'll come to it. So there was some Doer Shield action this past week, and Pembrokeshire beat Aberavon Schools 41-17, really opening up the Bowl West table. Aberavon Schools were undefeated before this. Pembrokeshire now sitting a plum at the top with 15 points. It's all in their hands now. All they've got to do is, win that last game and they top this table. So well done to the boys. And that is it for the community update. Again, if you like the women's being involved, give us a comment. Let us know that it's the way forward. We know it is. We just need some confirmation from you guys. Okie dokie. That leads us to a trip to South Africa. Woo! How are we feeling? But we won there last time against the Lions, 32-19, only 5 months ago. They ain't looking too good either.
They ain't looking too good. They yet again completely bottled the Curry Cup final. They have lost all 3 of their opening games. Imagine that. They lost to Zebras away, they lost to Benetton's away, and they lost to Cardiff away. And it's not been good, and the fans are all very unhappy. And we won there last season.
Yeah. I watched some of their game this past week against Benetton, and
got thrashed.
They look there for the taking. Honestly, they really do it. I know they're going to be a different kettle of fish on their home ground, but as we all know, once you get on a losing streak, it's hard to come out of it. So resource the ruck. Just keep all they like going in for a jackal. They really do, and they're not too bad at it. As long as we get a decent ref to officiate that area, we should be fine. But just resource the ruck and play wide. Anytime Benetton got that ball in the wide channels, like as soon as it hit, outside the inside set, out the third receiver, they were 6s and 7s. They really were. So play wide, and we should have a lot of fun. There's a good few counter attacks here from Benetton. I think the first one they had led to a try, which was really nice. Few nice offloads in there. So the Lions are there for the taking. They really are, and there's no reason we can't go down there and do it. We just need someone to smack us across the face and go, let's fucking do this. That's really it. That's all we need. Grab by the scruff, really pump yourself up and do it. I'm getting angry now because I haven't had that first win.
Yeah. Listen, boys, we're only going to get grumpier the longer we go without a win. So if I were you, I'd win.
Yes, it is Sean Harry's. Abre run school, but played in our minis. Photo on our wall. We are claiming her. That is from Newcastle Emlyn Direct. There we go. We were right. Yay.
There you go. See,
back to Scarlet Talk. Yeah. There's no reason we can't beat this Lions team. There's no reason we can't get a full 5 points. Did we get 5 points last season?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course we did. It's us. Of course we did. And then on to the Sharks, which
Sammy dropped a goal. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and we'll wait on the week after. We'll wait on the week after before we discuss that. But I'm looking for a very close, if not similar, return in points for our South Africa trip last year, because it is the same one, which, yay, URC couldn't have changed up a teeny tiny bit. But yeah.
It's the one thing I don't pretend to understand. They say that there's a system with the whole rotating fixtures every single year. I can't see what it is. People have tried to explain it to me. I don't think that they really understand either.
It's a 2-year fixture block, and then they pretend.
But when does the 2 years start? The 2 years always seems to be next year.
This is year 1 right now. We're in year. This is season 5. We're in year 1.
But it doesn't change up. It doesn't always change up. I would just reverse.
Yeah, we had Connacht at home last season. Now we got him away. There's little things like that. I do understand the need to do it because you don't want to be, let's say you always got Leinster and Munster away. You've always got Leinster and Munster combined. If you got Leinster and Munster away in the same season, every other, it's like, Jesus.
The Six Nations is fixed and has been fixed for forever.
Yeah, but that was because it was an amateur competition, and let's be honest, a lot of amateur people still run it through in the professional era. But that is what it is. I would like to see some change. It's easy for us because we can just say it's Blues at home or Blues away. It's simple as that. But that it would be nice to see that change because let's be honest, it's only when we It's when we're away. It's when it's Blues away. Ironically, when we have 2 home games, is when we have our strongest chance of winning the damn thing.
Yeah, that's
Which
why
is
2012 is our best Grand Slam, because we beat Ireland and England away.
truly is. Truly is.
Scott Williams with the best individual try in Welsh rugby history.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. We'll have to scatter the old files, but that is definitely in there. I think Cowdo can claim the best kick catch or wherever it is try. That's got to be in there. So, what are you looking to see other than actual locks? 3 actual locks in the 23. What are you looking to see from our team sheet? Because personally, I'd like to see Tommy Lewis back on the wing. I don't think
Ellis. In place of who?
Is that?
In place of who?
Ellis May. I don't think Ellis has really hit his stride.
Yeah, I got a message off a learned South African fan, Thomas fan, who's watching, saying, "I like Ellis Mee. I like the look of Ellis Mee."
He's a great player. He really has. I think there's something not 100% there. You know, his aerial game. Yes, we said he needs work ons, but it's not. It definitely wasn't there on the weekend.
I'd like to see Tommy get a chance, though.
Yeah,
so it's a
that's what I mean. It's squad rotation as well, and I mean it's always a case of we could have. I know it'd be harsh to Page, but there's always you can always bring me on the bench. We may end up having Hawkins and Sammy starting together. There's always these variations that we can look at.
I think I might look to give Tommy Roger rest actually and put Tommy on that wing. Because Tommy is a right wing.
Yeah. I mean, right wing, left wing. Okay, they have subtle differences, but you play both. I mean, Tommy Rog is too important to our restarts. He really is. And that's something we can't get away from. I'm really sorry, and if we were fully stacked, then yes, I'd be right up for it. I'd be saying yes, let him have the rest. But we're not in that position, and quite frankly, we need as much possession in their half as we can get. So sticking Tommy Rogers in there to just basically get as many restarts, whether it's out 22 or drop out from the halfway line. He's needed for that. He's just way too good in the air. And until we get that first win, I'm not changing him. Yeah. Obviously, I want Sammy back starting at 10. That's a no-brainer for me. He's had his return game on the bench. I don't know about you. I don't know if you think persisting with Joe for this game.
I'd bring Sammy back.
Yeah, good.
Every day of the week. Be interesting to see if he goes. They go again with Joe at 12. Or we have to Joe Field. I wouldn't mind seeing Dane Blacker get a start.
Oh, that's my little screen. My little what's it called? A spreadsheet that everyone sees the fixtures on. That's why I've got a full change of halfbacks. Yeah, I've actually put Ben Williams in instead of Dan Davis, which probably just me being generous, but I'd probably like to see a change there, just to mix up that back row a little bit. And I'll be honest, I'm along the same thinkings as the comment you made earlier. I've got Holtz to start and Henry Thomas having a break. I got Harry O'Connor on the bench. I've also got Isaac Young on the bench. And that might feel strange to some people because we got Harry Thomas, who's already started a game, and obviously Kirby Mayel. I don't know the situation of Kirby Mayel, but Isaac has played in South Africa 2 seasons ago, I believe it was. Those 2 disastrous opening games. So he does have that experience. And I don't think there's a great deal between Harry and Isaac. Isaac is a year older. So, where they are right now, I don't think it's a great deal. I think Isaac has maybe that little bit more physicality. As it stands, obviously players develop at different rates. I think Harry has the big ceiling, etc., etc. But we'll only see that with time. That's my thinking in terms of him. And do I have any other changes? No.
Steve Cummings got to start.
I'm really hoping that Ball and Douglas are fit. I'm really, really hoping. If they're not, then yeah, Cummings has got to come in. He made a great impact off the bench. He really did, and I know it was for longer than what you'd usually expect of a bench player, but he was really good. I wouldn't be against having a few words with Just Eat and just keeping him at least while Jack Price is out. I'm not sure how that works with our NWQ quota though.
I don't. Just win a game, please.
Win a game. Too complicated. All right. Not Scarlets by 2 prediction.
Scarlets by 2.
Why was he going to wait for us to have like 3 wins on a bounce and Dragons at home before you make a different call or something? I mean, come on, Matt.
I've said what I said.
He said what he said. Well, we won by 13 last year. I went for 9 last week and that didn't turn out right, so I'll go by 10. Scarlets by 10. We'll keep changing it by 1 every week. See how we go. Okay, if you've made it this far, it's like an hour and 10, I'm guessing. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being with us, doing all our random chat. Huw, married soon. Congratulations. I think the depression all to get married at the park would be really awkward for all of his family members just to do that. But I think it'd be great for us. I don't know about you, Huw. Do you like that one?
What's that? Say that again.
Get married at the park.
Oof. If they do us a deal.
Do us a deal. Well, they've already sent you a free shirt. I'm sure they'll do a free wedding promo. They need new pictures. That's all I'm going to say.
House of Luxury are looking to make it a multi-purpose venue. So, why not weddings?
I'll be honest. They do weddings, and no disrespect to what the current wedding portfolio looks like. I have not seen it, so I don't know what it's like. I don't know if you need new photos. That was just a random comment. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be back next week to celebrate our first win of the season. This is Saucepans and Sidesteps signing out. Till next week. Bye.
It's all right.
That was Saucepans and Sidesteps. Please rate, review and share on socials if you can, and join us again next week for more of the same. And until then, enjoy your rugby.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.